1 minute. All right. So good evening, everyone, and welcome to the webinar once again, right? So, everyone, come on, wake up, okay, and be very, very, thoughtful about, what we are going to discuss today. Be a little reflective. Try to stay active. Listening is a very important skill which everyone should develop, right? Try to listen, try to understand, try to implement something after the webinar in your classes as well. And the topic for today, as you can see on the screen, is the improvement of students with the help of personalized learning experience, right? Now, what this webinar is all about, a simple expectation setting. The webinar is all about personalized learning, okay? Learning on a personal level. So if you are a teacher, you have a classroom and there are students, how can you make learning, personalized? Okay, very, very, let's say narrowed for every student. Okay, when teachers teach in a class of 50 or 60, the learning is not personalized in nature, right? It's a group learning which happens directly, indirectly. So how to make learning personalized in nature, which is narrowed down to each and every student in class, which caters to their needs, and their weaknesses, and converts them to strengths, right? That is basically the focus, of today's webinar. Again, uh, I wouldn't say this webinar is about something, which you haven't heard before, and it's completely new. Today's webinar is more about a very basic concept which many of the teachers, and educators ignore. Again, knowingly, unknowingly, you ignore the fact that, personalized learning is very, very important, right? So an expectation setting from today's webinar is, it's on a very basic topic, how learning can be personalized for each and every student. And we will just reinforce certain points that, okay, this is how we can carry on personal learning in a very, very good and effective way, right? If most of you have attended my previous webinars, 9 or 10 webinars which I have had this month, I think we'll be able to connect that many of the points which I'll talk today, you'll be able to connect from the previous webinars as well, right? Again, very important is not to know things from today's webinar, but to implement the same in your next session or in your next classes. Okay, that is how you retain something, that is how you learn something, and that is how you make a difference, right? So that is a simple expectation setting from today's webinar. Okay, before moving ahead, just a simple message from the homework app and team, is that you get participation certificate for every webinar, right? Even if you attend the webinar for today, it is certified in nature. You will get a certificate for the same during the end of the webinar, right? I'll give you a form link, you fill the form link. Within 24 hours, certificates will reach via email. Second thing is, there's a very interesting, okay, I would say very interesting opportunity the app has for all of you to participate in the Smart Teacher Festival. Now, what is the Smart Teacher Festival and how can you earn rewards worth rupees 1,999 and the other things? We'll basically talk more about it during the end of the webinar, right? But it's something which is again very interesting, a good opportunity to earn. Many teachers have already earned and benefited from the same. You can too, and we'll talk more about the same during the end of the webinar. Starting with the webinar, the first thing we have to know is what is personalized learning, right? And then we will know that why personalized learning is so important and why it is needed in today's world, right? So personalized learning is basically an educational approach that aims to customize learning for each and every student's strengths, needs, skills, and interest. Each student gets a learning plan that's based on what they know and how they learn best. So personalized learning, in simple terms, for those of you who don't know, is something in which students learn on a very personal basis, right? There's a compact environment you create as a tutor, as an educator for each and every student, wherein they learn via means which works for them the best. So if I am a student in your class, right? If you are a K-12 teacher or a high school teacher or a primary teacher, and I, Harsha Agarwal, is a student in your class. So maybe I'm an average student, right? I fall into the statistics of 30-40% of the average students. And since I'm not able to catch up with the class of 60 and 70, maybe as a teacher, you call me after the classes for half an hour, every day, or maybe Saturday and Sunday. And, you try to know my weak points, what I am interested in, why I'm not able to catch up, which are the difficult points, in the chapter, or the course plan which I'm not able to understand, right? And then you design, my own classes in a very personalized way. Okay, this is the way I will teach students like Harsha and Harsha herself, let's say in a group of 10, after each and every session, every day. So if 3 p.m., my school ends, maybe 3:30 p.m. to 4 p.m. I can keep a class for the average students, a group of 10 or a group of 15, wherein I'll try, and connect with each and every student on a very personal level. Why they are not able to catch up, what are their interests, are they able to learn with pen and paper, or they are able to learn more by talking, or they're able to learn more, let's say, by visual skills, right, watching something, on the screen, or they're able to learn more, let's say, by listening something, maybe podcast or maybe certain audios or videos, etc., right? So different things work for different students. Some are very visual in nature, some are very audio centric students, and some are very traditional students who believe in rote learning, pen and paper. So one example is me. You can call me a nerd, okay, but yeah, one example is me. I was always a student, who believed in rote learning. It works good for me, pen and paper, or writing things with pen and paper helped me to learn, very quickly. So again, different things work, for different people. And if the student is not able to realize the same on their own, it's your job, right, to make the student connect with different terms, with different kinds of learning experiences, so that you figure out, okay, this is what works for her or works for him the best. And once you train them for 10 or 20 classes, that okay, this is the way we are going to go for your own learning, the student will be, knowing, okay, this is what works for me, this is how I learn. And even if the teacher is not there to give me extra classes, I can manage myself on my own, right? So again, a very basic aim of personalized learning, is also that, you have to make your students independent of yourself, कि हर चीज में टीचर की जरूरत नहीं होनी चाहिए, right? If you are a 15-16-year-old lad in standard 9 or 10, every time teacher will not be around, right? Teachers can't be around, they have their own work, they have their own schedule. So as a student, you have to be independent, you have to figure out your own way. So maybe for that you can take, a bunch of classes, like 5 or 10 classes for them separately, or maybe make a separate section, for the average people, and try to take, separate sessions maybe every Saturday and Sunday with the permission of the school. um, so this is exactly what personalized learning is. Okay, on the very basic is one-on-one learning, how you can manage that student and teacher relationship, with each and every person in the class, is what personalized learning is. Now, just a question for all of you. Are you practicing any form of personalized learning activities in your classes? Is something I would love to know. Again, it's an open question. Anybody can respond to the same. And yes, good evening to all of you. I just saw the chat box. Yeah. So any form of personal learning practices which you are trying to follow for your average students or your class students, or you can just drop a response, in the chat box for the same. It's very important, that we interact a little, because, the webinar will be very boring if we don't. And if you interact, other teachers will also get an idea. I don't want just a yes or a no, but what do you do exactly for this personalized learning, right? Whether you take additional classes, or whether you call students to your home, you take tuitions, etc. Multiple level assignments. All right, Anuj ji. Basically for slow learners, Sakshi ji, okay. Extra classes, says Chandna ji. By playway, okay. Individual attention, additional classes, okay. Mostly additional classes are something, which you all prefer, right? One-on-one learning, that's tutoring, extra tutoring, what you all call. Yeah. Hi Neelam ji, good evening. Extra assignments and checking regularly. All right, Sakshi ji. Anybody else carrying on any kind of personal learning, for the students, or in the past you have done it? Small group tutorials, okay. Quiz methods, asking questions randomly from everyone, and team activity. Mithil ji, that's a very, very good activity you do. Thank you for that response. Omega G assignments, remedial classes, okay. Kahoot, Omega G, all right, got it. Remedial classes, okay. Abhilasha ji, by knowing about their families. Rita ji, how I would love to discuss, your point. What do you mean by knowing about their families exactly? What are you trying to point out? Personal attention, project-based learning, Komal ji, Chandana ji, making them learn to learning by doing, asking randomly questions suddenly and have as in a quick way, giving personal attention, Rita ji, all right. Plan gamified assignments, pre and post assessment tools, Remedial teaching, individual attention, knowing about any family background problems. Okay, Abhilasha ji, got it. Yeah, it's very important, that you know about the student a little and understand why they're not able to catch up. Maybe there can be other reasons as well. Peer, family, other reasons in the schools as well. It's good, that you can connect on that personal level. Zareen ji, one-to-one interaction. All right. Thank you so much for all the responses. Right. What I basically understood till now is most of you, if I sum up in a conclusion, you follow personalized learning with the help of one-on-one tutoring, right? There's a student and there is you, and you try to connect with each and every student on a personal level. What is happening to you and what is your background, etc. And then you work with the student, on the topics they are weak, right? I think that is exactly what most of you, told me in the chat box. And some of you follow, some things like projects, and assignments and quizzes and Kahoot to make the classes more and more interesting, for the slow learners. Yeah, personal problems, Tina ji. Exactly. Understood. Oh, got it, Alish ji. Got it. All right. I can understand, ma'am. Uh, there's a lot of problem, for tutors as well, to be honest, in personalized learning, because being a tutor, you have your own busy schedule, and having your own busy schedule and then giving, additional time out of that schedule to students as well to ensure that each and everyone performs well is kind of, very tough task to do. But yes, hats off to all of you, for your efforts towards your student. Learning by doing experiments in lab. All right. Understood, everyone. Thank you. Okay. That question was just, asked to all of you. So that, when I talk about the techniques of personalized learning, ahead in this webinar, we would be able to connect more, with it. The words which you just spoke, is something which is going to help me to connect, how you can improve your personalized learning experience and make it more effective, for your students. Right. So just a very simple, pointer on the screen, as in the importance, of personalized learning. Right. So the importance of personalized learning is basically PLP, is personalized learning plans, right? Is the term PLP. So again, I'll read which is there on the screen, so that if anybody is not able to see my PPT because of any issues, you can just hear me out. All right. Creating personalized learning plans, that's PLP, provides students the opportunity to reflect upon their learning and shape their future, and enables the adults in their lives to better understand each student as a unique individual. Okay, so personalized learning का importance क्या है? हर एक student को basically, why we do personalized learning, we want every student to learn equally. We want every student to be equal, in the class. If I teach a class of 60 students, I want every student to show me the same potential, and the same knowledge as the other 60. Okay, that is why, to make the students catch up to the other students and to the classes, we do these personalized learning classes, right? Tutorials or one-on-one classes or projects or assignments, etc. Okay, so again, personalized learning plans is done by each and every teacher. Now, again, another question I want to ask you before I move ahead: do your school provide you any formal training for personalized learning? Just a yes or a no would work. Or you as a teacher, just try to prepare something on your own, which works best for your student. Manjana ji, yes, provided. That's actually great to hear. Ruma ji says it's provided. Okay. Taran ji, no. Alish ji, no. What about other teachers? Okay, Neeru ji. Okay, Abhilasha ji, Sakshi ji. All right, Savita ji. Okay. And can you just tell me any 2-3 responses would work? Uh, the personalized learning, training which you get in school. Uh, does it only tell you? Does it only tell you that students need to be, need to have a personal attention, and they tell you, what you have to do, or they give you an actual training that these are the steps to be followed with each and every student to make it a good learning experience? How does the training goes for all of you? Like, it's just very verbal in nature, or it's practical in nature? Yes, Alish ji, please post a question in the chat box, Alish ji. Okay, Seema ji says not provided, but I prepared my lesson plans. Yes, ma'am. Understood. Shalini ji says some practical. Jyoti ji practical. Rajkumar ji practical. Okay. Okay. Oh, all right, Neeru ji. Got it. Yes. Counselors will always, find personalized learning very easy, obviously understood completely. Both. All right. That's great then. That's great to hear. Okay. If your school has provided you, a training on personalized learning, what this webinar will do is maybe reinforce the same things for you, or maybe add on to your experience, right? Sarjit ji, if there's a certificate problem, you can reach the support section of the homework app. All right. I hope I helped you. And yes, practical. All right. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. All right. Okay. So, agar if your school has provided you the training for personalized learning, uh, I would say that this webinar is going to be an add-on, right? You will learn something new, and you can connect some points, which are already reinforced to you by a school. And it's actually great to hear that many majority of the professors or teachers here have attended a training for the same, because there are certain schools, as some teachers said no as well, that do not give any training for personalized learning. They just tell that students need an extra class and teachers need to pay an extra attention, and they just try to prepare everything on their own, and enforce on the students, right? Now again, in their perspective, they might be right, but in the very general perspective, it might be very wrong to teach the students in the manner they are teaching. And it's important to learn the concepts of personalized learning in depth, right? Again, just reinforcing some importance of personalized learning, what we did, or what we discussed till now in the webinar, as a breadcrumb navigation. Catering to each student individually, obviously an individual focus, individual attention is very important in personalized learning. You have to know their weak points, as you all said, you talk about their family backgrounds or their pressure, their peer problems, etc., right? Kahan par pressure points hai, their weak points, their pressure points, right? Points where they lack confidence. What are the issues they are facing. If some concept is taught in class, are they not able to listen properly, or are they not able to catch up properly? Again, knowing what the students want. So if you are teaching your math session or your science session in a certain way, maybe the student wants a change because he or she is not able to catch up with the other peers, right? Usse kya hoga? If you're not able to catch up in class, you don't want to hear. You don't want to hear because you lost attention. When you lost attention and you don't want to hear first chapter, you don't want to hear the second chapter as well, and the cycle goes on and on, and on, right? So one thing leads to another, the other thing leads to another, and it becomes a loop for the student. So it's very important that when you carry personalized learning, you should carry it from the beginning of the session for the student, right? So that the student doesn't miss out on many things, and don't lose their self confidence from inside, that okay, I can do this. Yeah. Again, taking constructive feedback for your teaching style. If you're teaching in a certain manner in class, I always tell in most of the webinars that assessment is something which is very important, not only for students but for you as a teacher as well, right? If I am a teacher and I teach in the school, Alish ji, I'll come back to your point in just 2 minutes. All right, ma'am. I'll just complete this slide and I'll come back to the message. Yeah. So yeah, constructive feedback. As a teacher, you should develop the habit of taking feedback from your students, right? Maybe prepare, a simple Google form. I'm not telling you to go to individual students and ask. No, be smart. Prepare a Google form, type form. There are interactive kind of forms, out there. Prepare 5 to 6 basic questions and take feedback for every class, or for every week. How were your classes? Do you need any change? And tell the students to not mention their name, so you would not know who has submitted what feedback. Just see the feedback. If there are any criticisms, that okay, the teaching style is not apt for them, they're not able to catch up. Again, something which I always get criticized for is I speak very fast sometimes, right? Is something I am trying to work on. So till you don't take criticisms, till you don't take how I am performing right now, how will you know where you need to improve? Maybe as per you, as per the books, your teaching style is okay, but the students are not able to catch up, right? That means the teaching style is just not very appropriate, which you're carrying on for years and years. Take feedback, bring changes, bring something which the students want. It develops interest and attention in class. Yeah. Ask them, are they able to catch up? They're not able to catch up, and make them catch up with the same, right? Again, connects to each and every point which is there, knowing their weak points, trying to design a syllabus for them or learning classes for them, and making them catch up. Yeah. What works best for them? Personalized learning का एक सबसे बड़ा core principle जो है, the core principle is you have to see what works best for them. If I am a student and you are teaching me on a personal level after classes or giving me a homework or assignment, you have to see what works best for me, right? Whether assignments are working best for me, whether videos work best for me, whether audios work best for me, whether drawing, and maybe painting the diagrams, maybe in biology or physics or chemistry or whatever subject you are teaching, works best for me. Maybe carrying out activities like tableau or roll on the wall, etc., works best for me, right? So you have to understand what works best for them, and maybe culminate, 3 to 4, topics, at once in each and every class, right? So that even you are able to complete your syllabus effectively with these kind of students, right, who are average or who are weak performers. And then again, how can learning be more personalized, and effective for them is one aim and one goal, which should never go out, of the teacher's mind, right? um, so again, till now what we discussed is, the meaning of personalized learning. We discussed on, what you as a teacher use in schools for personalized learning and what are the importance of it, right? We'll quickly move on, to certain statistics, and then we'll move on to, the tactics or techniques for personalized learning, which is again very important and the crux or the core of this webinar. Yeah. Percentage of average students as per the economic times, if you see, in every class, okay, of India, is 30% at the minimum. Okay, I remember in one of my webinars, I asked the teachers that how many average students are there in your classes, and mostly the response was, 30%, 40%. Some said even 60%. Some even said 70% are average only in the classes. They're just like 30% of the lot which studies actually. So if you see the Indian statistics, 30% the minimum average है हर class में. So again, something which this point reflects, is that the Indian, school system, right, has to inculcate personalized learning, on a separate level. So every school should have, I think, separate classes or separate attention paid to these average students, right? Normal classes is carried out at each and every school, each and every institution. But what you're doing extra for your students, despite knowing the facts like this, wherein 30% are the minimum or 30% are the average minimum students in each and every class, right? So you have to understand, that these kind of things need, separate attention, and every class, has these kind of students. No matter if the students are naughty, no matter if the students are not paying interest, no matter if the students have, some family problems, the problem is that they're average in classes, and there can be many background history for the same, right? Maybe keep 2 3 counselors in school, again, always reinforcing the same point. There's a need, for counselors in school, for students to talk to. Counselors have an understanding of, humans and people, which the normal people like you and I won't have, because they have a practice, for years and years with hundreds of people out there. They work on a mental and psychological level, which we can't, right? We don't have the knowledge and qualification for the same. Keep the counselors, find out what the students want, and maybe after making, a list, or after making a report on each and every student, give it to the respective teachers. The teacher, I've already made a report for you all, and you can use this report to personalize learning for your students, what they are interested in, what they are not, and why they're not able to catch up, right? This way you can systematize the process, in your schools. And again, I think, if there's a teacher, principal or teacher authority meeting in schools, points like this should be brought up, that if you see the statistics out there, not only of economic times, but many other sites and many other, statisticians have told, that at least 30 to 40% students are minimum in every class. And why not have, something, which is quality, rather than just quantity, that more and more students come and they just go out as average. Why not take less students, and maybe make them quality by personalized learning experiences as well? Maybe extra classes, batches of 5 or 6 people or 10 people maximum, and it goes smooth. Yeah. So something, on the screen for all of you to understand again in depth. Okay. Starting quickly with personalized learning techniques, right? The first thing, again, self-reflection, and goal setting is something which is very, very important, right? These are some of the pictures which I've picked, from schools actually. So I take other webinars, as well, and they're popular schools, which have, sites, their own websites, and I've picked up these, images from there. So, assessment of one own self, and goal setting is something, which is very, very important, right? So what here the school has done is, each and every student, needs to assess themselves. Okay. So if today I come to the class and I teach a biology chapter on plant systems, and I say tomorrow is, let's say, reproductive system. Okay. I as a teacher will tell the students, at the end of each class, you have to take 5 minutes and fill an assessment form. Again, this can be done digitally, maybe with the help of Google Forms. It can be done manually, pen and paper, right? You have to tell them that this is the particular assessment form, and they have to fill it at the end of every class, let's say for 2 weeks, right? And after they fill the self-assessment form, which have questions like, this was my goal, or I wanted to understand this, but I couldn't understand. Maybe this is the reason, right? These kind of questions, which points out their own weaknesses. Students are able to assess themselves, okay, why I'm not able to catch up. Is it because of my family problems, the pressure on my mind I'm not able to understand? Or is it because of my peers? Or is it because of the place I sit in the class? Make them assess themselves first before you assess them, because they know themselves, better than you, right? Self-assessment is very, very important. So make this a habit, that before you go on to personalized learning, make the students self-assess them. Maybe the first class, keep on self-assessment, prepare, a questionnaire, maybe 10-15 questions, basic questions which can help you realize, how the student is, and make the students self-assess them, all the criticisms, all the weaknesses, all the strengths, and work on the same. Group students into different, sections. Okay, out of 10 students in my personalized learning session, 6 students have said that communication and, listening is their strength. So what you can do is, personalized learning classes go, you can make audio centric or video centric based on their own strengths, and maybe make, it less of a traditional class, right? If they say that, my weakness is pen and paper, I'm not able to jot down notes, very fast when the teacher speaks in class, right? Maybe, you can just help them, with the same, that okay, we will do the classes, and at a pace, wherein even you are able to cover up, your portion, and even I am able to cover up my syllabus on time. Or what we can do is, we can record the session, and the recorded session will be shared with all of you after you go to your homes, so that even if you miss some part of it, you will be able to jot it down later. Okay. Again, if you feel that, if you record the session then give them, they will not write down the notes in class, you can have another tactics. Okay, I will record my video, and I will keep the link, the drive link, or wherever you share the video with them, open for another 30 minutes after you reach your homes. In that 30 minutes, watch the video again, understand, jot down the notes and also your queries, and come back tomorrow with the queries and ask me the same. Doubt clearing session, and then we'll start with a new topic, right? So again, assessing students, setting the goals is very, very important, and again, the first step towards personalized learning, right? um, Try to incorporate it. Try giving students a chance to be their own tutors before you tutoring them. I think that's something, which everyone should do for a better understanding of their own self. All right. Moving on to the second, incorporating personalized playlist. Now you have to understand one thing. Okay, when I say personalized playlist, it is something, which is used by many schools across. Okay, and the term personalized playlist is actually a recognized term. It's not something I created on my own. What personalized playlist is? A playlist, as you can see on the screen here, the definition, a playlist is a sequence, of resources. Okay, it's a sequence of resources and or activities for students to complete. So as you have, as you have Ghana, right? Ghana is an app for listening. Okay, or you have Google Music, or you have Ghana, you have Wink, you have Spotify for listening music. You have a playlist there, right? Ki iske baad I'll play this, for after this music I want to hear this. Similarly, you can create a playlist for your students in terms of education as well. Okay, again, a very new form of personalized learning techniques which the teachers are using, across. So what you do in this is simple. You take a sheet of paper. Okay, you take a sheet of paper, and what you do is you jot down points from, let's say, 1 to 10 or 1 to 15 in stepwise. uh, that the first class, or that the first class for personalized learning will be like this. For, let's say, Harsha, okay, I am your student and you're preparing a personalized playlist for me. So your playlist for me includes that, okay, Harsha is good in listening, so isko mere ko audio lessons dena hai, video lessons dena hai. She's also good in communication and in acting, so maybe role plays, and some simulations would also work for her. Since she's not able to remember the mathematics formula, and she's good in visual aid, so I'll try to stick, a formula page. I'll tell her to make a formula page for her and stick on the bench where she sits for the personalized classes, so that when every day she comes to the class, she can look at the formula sheet and solve the sums. And maybe during the end of the 20-30 sessions, she would be able to remember, the things, which she saw on the bench or saw on paper, right? So playlists are basically, pointers which you make for every student, that after this we will do this, after this I will do this, and it's a plan which you create for each and every student. All right. Again, playlist can be, in group as well, it can be for single students as well, but it should be personalized. So if, let's say, out of 10 students in your personalized learning classes, 5 students, are good at a particular skill, or 5 students are weak at a particular skill, you group these kinds of students together as and when your syllabus goes ahead. So maybe when you are teaching, let's say, a chapter in chemistry, okay, let's say the chapter is, I don't know, maybe ions, or maybe acids, right, on base. So as and when the chapter goes ahead, you understand, what the students feel about this particular chapter, after the introductory session. And if the students, give their feedback as in, it's a very tough chapter which they're not able to understand because the terms are very hard. Some students say that they're able to understand the terms but not able to remember. So you group the students, accordingly into groups, and you can carry group activity also in your classes, 5 and 5, right? Wherein not only you teach the students, but the students can also teach other students. Okay. So as I always say, one thing, teachers can do in class is the flexibility, of the layout of the classes. We'll discuss that point, ahead in the webinar. So this is one point again, a personalized playlist. So it's like a resource template, for your students, right? You can see some pointers right here. Okay, I'll just read out, for the people who can't see my screen. um, be assigned for a subset of a class period, full day, a week, or even a full course. Include content for one skill, one standard, one lesson, one unit, or even cover multiple disciplinary content. Be assigned to one student, a group of students, or all students. Okay. Okay. And then playlists are often in a list of, a table or format. They can be printed online, made digital, or, maybe made, with the help of worksheets. Okay. That is how you can create a playlist. And what is a playlist? Basically a sequence hota hai. It's a sequence of activities, resources, or things you want your students to do, or you will make your students do as and when you proceed ahead with your classes. Okay. That's personalized playlist if you want to create for each and every student. um, all right. This point is actually very, very important. All right. Using digital content, and tools in a purposeful way. Okay. Again, something which is, very important to understand for all of us is personalized learning, can be done best at home. If I want to say the best way for personalized learning, I say it's actually home, right after school. If you see the school hours in India, if you I'm talking logically, okay, let's talk logic here. The school hours in India are around 5+ hours every day, right? Students grind themselves for 5 to 6 hours every day in studies. Now, if I need to ask this question to you, that post classes every day, you give them another class of 1 hour, that will be more effective? Or when they go home, you give them their own space, you give them their own, flexibility, and you make them learn at home, is a more effective way? I think the answer will be home, because I feel that, if you use the digital tools in a very, let's say, effective way, you use the right tools which help you to cater to each and every student, in your personalized learning class, individually, in a very effective manner, saving time, effort, and energy, and also making learning fun and effective for the students. I think that kind of tools are needed, and it's very, very handy for the teachers as well, right? So in a class of 50 plus students, personalized learning is just a dream, as I've written in the slide, which can never be fulfilled. If you want to cater to individually to all the students, irrespective whether they are average or not, you have to find a way, you have to find a tool which can create assignments for you, which can create worksheets for you, according to each and every student, that which chapter they are facing the most problems, or which chapter needs attention. And it just takes like 30 to 20 seconds to create the same and send to every student, and it's auto checked, it's auto corrected, the reports are auto generated, and you don't have to do anything. I think such kind of a tool is needed for the teachers, as of today. And one such tool I would like to discuss is the homework app for the same, right? Again, I'll just show you very quickly in another 3 to 4 minutes, right? How the homework app can be used, for personalized learning experience for each and every student, right? And later on, again, it's up to you, if you want to use it, this way or maybe another way. Yeah. Let me stop sharing my screen. All right. Using handy digital tools to cater to 50 plus students individually in a very less amount of time and with greater effectivity, where they feel that, okay, learning is fun, even if you're giving them quizzes, even if you're giving them, assignments to do, it shouldn't feel like a burden, oh my God, another assignment came and I have to do this. It should be smooth, right? Wherein, if you see the homework app, it uses gamified version of the content, right? If we see gamified version content, and what is it, we can see that the homework app gives badges, points, interactive memes, interactive sounds, as and when the students go ahead with the quizzes, when the students solve and submit the entire assignment or questionnaire or homework which you send them, the students get to see what are the reports, and they're able to self assess themselves in no time, right? The reports are auto generated by the application in no time, as and when the submission is done. Okay. Again, showing the same to you very quickly, some teachers refer that they use gamification for personalized learning, right? A very good method of gamification in the homework app is the interactive quiz. Okay. If you see the interactive quiz for gamification, sorry, just a minute. Yeah, if you see the interactive quiz for gamification, you can see, we have all these subjects right here in the interactive quiz: 10th, 9th, 8th, 7th, 6th, 5th, and every class is there. And in the interactive quiz, which is a gamified form of a quiz the homework app has, to make learning fun for each and every student who faces difficulty in classes to understand the concepts. You can use this for the same, right? Let's say if I am a student of standard 10 and I am in your personalized learning classes, because I'm an avid student not able to catch up in class. So what you do is, when I go home, you say that, okay, every day 7 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. we'll be having a personalized learning session online. Your space is there, I'll give you the entire flexibility. The only thing you have to do is maybe come for half an hour or 20-30 minutes, and I'll give you a simple assignment. Just do that assignment in real time and submit it there and then. Okay. So for, let's say you are a maths teacher. Okay, I click on subject mathematics, right? I'll select the number of questions. Okay. Polynomials introduction. Okay. I'll select, let's say, 3 questions easy and 3 questions or 1 question, let's say, medium. Yeah. And my total questions, as you can see, is 4. Okay. My total questions is 4. I can see what kind of questions are there. If I want to add or remove anything, I can do that as well, right? I have the option. If you're satisfied with it, you just click on the next button. Okay, you click on the next button. We have already see that there's an interactive rapid quiz on polynomials, a gamified quiz for your subject. No matter you are a standard 10 teacher or 5 teacher, all the subjects are there for the gamification. Okay, and the deadline is, let's say, tomorrow 11:59 p.m. Okay, you can change the same if you want. You can see the dates and everything are available. And I'll click on create interactive rapid quiz. As you can see the screen, the quiz is created very quickly, and I can share the interactive rapid quiz, right? Whom to share? I'll share the class 10. I'll share with my class 10A. Okay. Again, you can share it via WhatsApp. You can share it, copy and share the link, anywhere, right? So I'll just copy paste the link, and share in my messages, and then we'll come back, to it. Okay. It's that easy. You can copy paste and share it anywhere you want. All right. I'll paste and I will send it. Okay. When you send the message, it will look something like this, as you can see my screen right now. In the WhatsApp also, it will look like this. In the messages or anywhere also, it will be looking like this. Okay. Now there is a link to quiz, as you can see on the screen. I'll click on the link. The students will click the link to quiz. So as a teacher, what you did was you created the assignment and you send the students. As a student, I will just click the link of the quiz to attend the quiz. Okay. अब मैंने link को click कर दिया. Okay, and now I can see my gamified quiz session right here. So there's an interactive rapid quiz on polynomials, which I have created right now. And the deadline you can see is tomorrow, 11:59 p.m. as in when we set as a teacher. Yahan par student will click. Okay, student will click on the link, and then student will click on the quiz. And now you will see how interesting, is this quiz. Okay, I'll click on the play button as a student. When the student clicks on the play button, you can see how gamified it is. There's a music, there's a trophy, there are stars, and it's enjoyable for the student. Or they can see their points, you can see 1500 points, or points I have from my previous assignments. Okay, I'll click on the play button. All right, go. And here is my first question. Okay, this is my reading time. And when the reading time ends, I'll see the options to answer. Yeah. Let's say constant. Okay, I'm wrong. It's I clicked on cubic. Okay, so constant is the answer. Now you can see how gamified it is. Points come, and then there'll be a meme which will be there on the screen. The thing which students like in today's world. These things help the student to remember, right? That okay, what is going on, and how do they exactly go about it. um Again, this is one form of thing I wanted to show how you can use the homework app for the digital learning. Again, as a student, when you submit any assignment, right, you will see the status on the homework app itself, right? कितने students ने submit किया है, कितनों ने नहीं किया है, how many assignments are corrected, how many are yet to be corrected. So agar if the assignments are MCQ in nature, they are a quiz type of assignment, automatic correction is there, you don't have to correct. Okay, 30 seconds may as a teacher you give them a personalized assignment that okay Harsha, you are not good in polynomials, so I have sent you an assignment on polynomials as per your feedback. Okay, I solved the assignment on polynomials, and you can see right here submission is there or not, correction is done or not, etc. And similarly in this way you can use the other mediums as well, case studies, etc., etc., from the application. Yeah, so that is a basic thing I wanted to show all of you. All right, I'll stop sharing my screen. uh, One of the points again in personalized learning, how you can use the homework app very effectively for the same, right? Because I feel that more than the classes or post school classes, home is somewhere you can make the students learn with greater efficiency, right? As we discussed, get the feedback from the students, make the students self-assess, and with the help of that feedback, which chapter may they are facing problems, this is the chapter which they need attention to, you create the assignment and you send to the students, right? And I think homework app is a very good application for it, because there are pre-typed questions, there are gamified quizzes, you don't have to correct the MCQ type questions, and you only have to invest 30 seconds of your time for each and every student. So what is happening here, you are saving your time, effort, and energy as well, and the students are also enjoying the things which they are learning. And if there are any more doubts, maybe you can carry on a physical session with them the next day with Q&A, right? In the physical classes also you can give such kind of things for them to solve for 5 minutes or 3 minutes, right? It makes the classes interesting and interactive, and students enjoy as well. That is one thing. Next point if we see is group discussions and group activity, right? GDs are very very important for personalized learning. If your group of students are, let's say, 20 in a batch, right, for personalized learning, divide the students into 5 or 4 sections in a group of 4 or 5, right? And make the groups in such a way wherein during the end of each session, okay, or each remedial class, uh, each and every group needs to stand up and explain what they learned in today's class. Now what this does is the group themselves reinforces the knowledge they learned, and it also helps the other 4 or 5 groups to listen, okay, this happened in today's class. So if any points are missed by any of the people in any of the groups, they can also catch up to it, right? And as a teacher you don't have to repeat your points again, it's the students who will do that for you, right? Direct the 4 groups to take notes as per time intervals. So let's say if my class of personalized learning batch has 5 groups, okay, I tell group 1 to take notes for the first 10 minutes. I tell group 2 to make notes for the next 20 minutes, for the next 10 minutes. And I tell group 3, 4, and 5 to take notes for, let's say, the next 10 minutes, and so on and so forth. So what happens here is each and every group, okay, they work equally. Each and every group, develop the practice, of writing down the notes. And if any student by chance has missed anything, later on the entire 20 students will come together, they will compile the notes, and they will talk to each other about the topic. So what it does is when you interact with your peers and friends, and you say that did ma'am teach plant may stigma or stomata, something was there, no, the other student will speak, no 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 no, it was not like this, no, it was like this, ma'am taught this, or sir taught this, right? Interaction, group discussions, group activities, very important. You have to plan the most effective group activities when the students get to interact a lot with each other. Okay, that is the major essential part of a group activity: interaction and communication among these students. Because as I always say, students will always learn more from their peers than they learn from you as a teacher, right? So something which is very important for personalized learning. Again, other tactics for the same can be, you let's say conduct the peer learning classes or group learning classes for certain students, and maybe you tell them that one group has to dress in red today among the 5 groups, and you give all the 5 groups different colors to dress and come in the class. You do several activities, like one class is like a video class, one class is like, let's say, a role play class or simulation class, one class is, let's say, a pen and paper class, right? One class is, let's say, an interaction class, right? So if you do these activities on a regular basis with the help of your personalized playlist, you'll remember, okay, this is how I carried on my last 5 sessions, and this is the feedback students have given me. This is where the students have improved, this is where the students are still not improving. Make your own grade sheet, okay, as a teacher. This is my grade sheet, wherein there are 5 components. Are students improving in learning? Are students improving in listening? Are students able to catch up? When I took the test, is the result up to the mark or not? Put a tick mark or put a cross, accordingly. You have to make your own spreadsheet as well, wherein you try to mark things, whether this was your aim and you were able to achieve it or not, so that the classes go on a very personalized level. Yeah. Yes, Shalini ji. Again, ma'am, group activities is usually, which is done by each and every school. What I'm trying to say is, it has to be done in the right manner, right? If you just make students, sit together and tell them, okay, this is your project, make group projects and then submit the group project. That is not how group activity should be done. It should be fun, and it should be interactive on a very personal level for the students as well. So as I said, that maybe if you are carrying your personalized learning classes, you tell each and every group to maybe take notes for the first 10 minutes or 15 minutes, and the other group to do so after the first group. Maybe you tell the first group to stand up in one class, right? And then you tell them to explain the entire class what they learned today. Maybe group number 2 will explain all the students what they learned the next day, and group number 3, 4 and 5 and so on and so forth, right? Maybe one class is just about each and every student standing up. Out of the 20 students, you break the groups, and then you tell each student to stand up and tell what they learned in the entire chapter. 20 students summarizing the chapter you taught them 20 times makes all the 20 people hear the same thing 20 times, right? And it makes them learn something. I'm not telling they will remember the entire chapter, but I can bet you that they will at least remember 10 things out of the 100 things which are told in the class. 20 times you are trying to summarize the chapter in front of 20 students, and it's not you who is speaking. It's the students who are speaking and learning. It's the students who are listening and learning as well, right? That is how you conduct the group learning activities as well. Make groups, break the groups, change the groups, rotate, shuffle, make it effective. Make each and every student interact in each and every group. Just think a little, is all which is needed. Yeah. Again, the next point basically focuses on allowing students to participate. Oh yeah, this point is so important, right? um, in a personalized learning setting, right? When you make goals, right? Each and every teacher, as you as I, have goals, right? Ki, this is my goal for this student, this is my goal for the entire students in the class, and I have to fulfill it by the end of the semester. Make the students sit with you when you are setting the goals. Okay, it's very important that the students feel the connection in the personalized classes. So if you have, let's say, 20 students, call the 20 students while you are setting the goals for the classes. Tell them, what do you want? Tell me, I will design the goals in that manner. It's your points which you are setting up, and it's you who will be responsible for achieving these goals, because it's you who has told me all these things you want. And that is how I've set the goal for the semester, right? When you give the students a chance to speak and to sit on the table, they feel responsible, they feel authoritative, that, oh my god, I sat with the teacher, and I decided my own goals. Call each and every student personally, or maybe in a group, and ask them to prepare their own goals in front of you. Guide them if they go wrong, that, okay, this is not the way you should make a goal, maybe you should think it this way, right? It will help them to learn planning skills, implementation skills in their own life ahead. Very important. Okay, even if you're doing personalized learning classes, I think it should be done in the right manner. And this is all, the webinar is about, reinforcing certain pointers, which we forget in our day-to-day lives. Okay, that is another pointer. uh, Moving ahead, statistics for a particular school, I was just reading some news, on personalized learning, and I saw that, 4 years and a school implemented personalized learning programs for each and every grade. And they saw that there was a growth, from 44% to 65%, in the reading skills of students. And then the percentage went up to 67%, especially for the math, weak students in mathematics. Okay, so what personalized learning did was, it improved the percentage, of students, from average to, let's say, good students in the classes, right? So right now, if the class has 30% of average students, with the help of personalized learning, my aim is to reduce it to 15% or 10%, right? Again, for the rest of the 10%, you have to devise another strategy, because the same thing can't work for all. People are different, they think different, they learn different, they look different. Yeah. This is a statistics, which a school has shown, for its personalized learning experience. So it's something which is proven, it's something which is reliable in nature if you do it the right way. Yes, this again, if you can see the screenshot right here, it's a Google Form screenshot. Okay, simple feedback tools like Google Form analysis, can actually help you a lot. After every class, maybe general classes or maybe personalized learning classes, share the feedback form with the students and prepare questions like this, what one word best describes this class? What would you like to change about this class, right? Criticism, take the criticism. What you would do, like the best about this class, right? So ask questions like this, which are easy for you to analyze. Just ask for 1 or 2 word answers, so that the students are able to give you the answers, you want, and it's easy for you to analyze as well. Okay, that okay, this is how the class is going and this is where I need a change. Okay, see, the class assignments make sense to me, I understand their purpose. Ask the students these kind of questions, which are open ended, which are directed a little towards, criticism, so that they think, and they tell you the exact feeling, which they have. Simple tools like this can actually help, a lot, while carrying on personalized learning sessions, right? It's again, it's just that, putting hard work is not enough. Smart work is very important. So rather than putting hard work, I think if you do smart work, your personalized teaching can be more effective for each and every student. Okay, devise it with this simple things. Okay, certain forms, self-assessment for students, do these things. It just requires 1 or 2 classes, right? And a little planning, later on here. So this is another thing which you have to use. Flexible classrooms. Flexible classrooms is basically, you change the classroom layout, as for each and every student, not for each and every student, but the class in general. So if you are a classroom, if you are entering a classroom, tell the students, okay, they can sit in whatever way they want, right? Try to arrange the benches, in different layouts and formats for each and every class. Make the students feel comfortable. If certain students want to sit, on the floor and listen to you, allow them to sit on the floor. Students feel cool, honestly. When you are a school student, sitting on the floor and hearing in a classroom, wherein you are always told to sit on benches, is something cool for them, is something, which is highly appreciative for them, in front of their peers. Allow them to sit on the floor. It doesn't matter, right? Learning is learning. Bench pe baith ke karo, floor pe baith ke karo, doesn't matter. Okay, tell them they can sit in whatever way they want, on the benches, on the chairs. All you want for them is to hear you out. Okay, and the best, kind of layout, what I feel is, you sit in the center of the classroom. Okay, arrange the classroom in a U-shaped format or in a circle format. Okay, and sit in the center of the classroom, and just talk to every student. Make yourself, very comfortable with each and every student. Tell them, floor pe baithna hai, floor pe baitho, table pe baithna hai, table pe baitho, or you want to sit on chair, you sit on chair. I don't care. I just want you to listen and learn. Okay, and do this and do that in the classroom. Crack jokes, humor, again, is something which is very important, for teachers. Have fun with students, make fun of them, allow them to make fun with you. Humor is very important. Flexibility in the classrooms is very important. Humans work like this. The more I tell you don't do this, the more you will feel like doing the same thing. So allow them to be comfortable, and they will know their limits ultimately, right? It's very important. And statistics again show that, students who feel more comfortable in classroom have a higher learning capacity, than the students who are in a very restrictive classroom setting. Okay, that's another point. Okay, some pictures I found, on the internet, very interesting. You can see the students sitting here. You can see how cool, the setting right here for learning is. Okay, no hard and fast rule. Just cute little classrooms, or simple layouts like this. Designed for the students to sit. You can see, यहाँ पर, students have the option to sit on floor, on tables, on this, bean bags, and this balls. There are again mats on the floor where they can sit in any way, anywhere they want. Okay, there's no hard and fast rule that you have to sit on a table or bench only. So again, flexibility is something I feel is very, very important, right? um, and again, what are you doing for your average students? We already discussed the same, and now you already know what you have to do exactly to improve the classroom performance, and how you can improve your personalized learning performance as well, right? And yeah, again, personalized learning creates, classroom, environment equilibrium as well. Okay, and there's certain pointers for the same. Students confidence increase, class participation increase. So if I'm in a personalized learning environment and I'm getting the right kind of knowledge, I'm able to catch up. Ultimately, as a student, I will start showing interest in the other classes. My interest is high, my grades will be high, peer pressure will be less, family pressure will be less, class participation will be more, my confidence will be more, overall student development will be more. If I'm good in studies and there's less pressure, I can focus on other fields as well, like sports, arts, cultural activities, and make myself a holistic development student, right? And yeah, these are something, which are the results, of personalized learning, okay, which you should focus on as a teacher. And yeah, that's all from my end for today. Before I share the link of the form for the certificate, the next in line we have is the art of storytelling, right? I think the webinar will be tomorrow 6 p.m. Tuesday. The art of storytelling, again, a very interesting topic, loads of things to discuss. Do join the webinar tomorrow. And before I share the link, I will just show you, okay, share my screen and show you how to fill the form and how to join the WhatsApp group. Okay. uh, okay, right. Again, just a little message from the homework app and team before we end the webinar is, you get participation certificate for every webinar. Okay, for this webinar also, all of you will get the participation certificate. I will send you a form link in the chat box for the same. Just fill the form, click the submit button, and you will get the certificate within 24 hours via email. Okay, again, very interesting opportunity is the Smart Teacher Festival, wherein many teachers have earned, cash rewards worth rupees 2,000, as you can see on the screen. And they also win an official certificate from the homework app and team, gold, silver, bronze, as per their participation and performance. Now, when I share you the form link, you have to fill the form link for the certificate and join the WhatsApp group to participate in the festival and earn rewards and official certificate from the team. But how to do that, I will just share my screen and show all of you. Okay, just give me 1 minute. I'm going to share my screen and show all of you how to do that. Okay. All right. Sharing my screen again. I'll send the form link, ma'am. I'm showing you how to fill the form and join the WhatsApp group, right? Because many teachers get confused. So taking care of all the teachers who are on call, I'll just show you how to do this. Can everybody see my screen? Just a simple yes or a no would also work. Uh, oh, thank you so much for all the wonderful comments. All right, it means a lot to me. Oh, thanks, Rumaji. Your message really made me happy. That will make the students feel flexible and comfortable. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for all the comments. All right, this is the form. Okay, when I share you the form link, you will see this on your screen. You click on start, right? When you click on start, the first thing you have to fill is your name. The second thing you have to fill is your phone number. Let's say I fill a random phone number. This. Okay. You have to share your WhatsApp phone number here. Fill your WhatsApp phone number here, ताकि the team can connect you to the WhatsApp group. Okay. Fill your WhatsApp number. After you fill your WhatsApp number, fill your email ID. Okay. Name, WhatsApp number, email ID. Again, your gender, male, female, others, etc. School, institute. Let's say I just write XYZ as of now. I click on OK. I am who I am. I am a tutor. I click on OK. Do you use the homework app officially for your school, institute? Yes, I use. Okay. After you fill your details for the form, the summary of the details will be shown on the screen. If there's any mistake in here, you can go back with the help of the form arrows, which you can see on the right bottom of the screen, right? If there's no errors, click on continue. Okay, has your school started again after summer holidays? Yes. Okay, and yes, you will all see this option on your screen. All right, if you want to earn a reward of 2000 rupees instantly and get an official certificate from the homework app and team, which many teachers have already received, you have to click on the yes button. So if you want to participate in it and win rewards and certificate, you click on yes. If you click on yes and click submit, you will join the WhatsApp group option right here. So you click on join festival group, and then you join the WhatsApp group for the festival. If you click on no, there will be no option of joining the WhatsApp group because you told that you don't want to participate in the festival. Okay, I hope this is clear to everyone, how to fill the form and how to join the WhatsApp group, right? Is it clear, everyone, how to fill the form and how to join the WhatsApp group? To get the certificate, all you have to do is fill the form and click the submit button. Okay, I'm sharing the form link right now in the chat box. Fill the form and click the submit button. Okay, that's all you have to do. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'll stop sharing for a minute. Just fill the form and click the submit button for the certificate. If you want to participate in the festival, you click on yes, and then you click on join the festival group. So you have to join the WhatsApp group to participate in the festival. Okay, I'm sharing the form link as of now. And I request all the teachers who want to participate in the Smart Teacher Festival to stay for another 5 minutes so that I can explain them, what the Smart Teacher Festival is. Okay, you can see the Smart Teacher Festival, and for it you join the festival group, which is there on the screen. Now, what the Smart Teacher Festival is, just stay for 5 minutes with me, whosoever is interested and whosoever says yes, and I'm going to explain you the same right now, okay, about the Smart Teacher Festival. Okay, so again, we all know that the world is changing as of now, right? And everybody is looking for digital technologies and methods which can make learning easy and effective. And for the same, the homework app came with the Smart Teacher Festival. But what is a Smart Teacher Festival? It's basically a festival which kind of let's say pushes the 21st century teachers to be smart, to use technology to make learning fun and effective in classroom, outside classroom, right? To make homework and to make assignments and to make learning very, very interactive and very, very effective. If you have opted for the Smart Teacher Festival, please do stay on call to know how to earn a reward of 2000 rupees in cash and to get the certificate. Okay, just for another 5 to 6 minutes, right? Now, why have we introduced a Smart Teacher Festival? To make sure that all the teachers who are connected with us are on a mission of let's say educating students with more fun and with more learning, rather than making learning rote and boring. Okay, so to improve students and deliver better learning experience is one of the aims of the Smart Teacher Festival. Okay, introducing the same to all of you. What you have to do to participate in the Smart Teacher Festival and to win a reward worth rupees 2000 and to win a certificate is on the screen right now. Okay, this is exactly what you have to do. All right, it's a 7-day long festival. Okay, first thing is, it's a 7-day long festival. So if you have joined the WhatsApp group and opted for the Smart Teacher Festival, you have to know कि ये 7-day long festival है. What you have to do is, you have to make 3 assignments. Okay, homework app. So you use the homework app and you create 3 assignments, maybe for the same class, maybe for different classes. And you share these 3 assignments, with your students, and try to get at least 30 submissions for each assignment you create. Okay, 3 assignments at the least, and you try to get at least 30 submissions for each and every assignment. And then you try to download auto-generated reports, which the app gives you for each and every student, and you send the students the same for self-assessment and for reflecting how much they lag or how much they are ahead of the subject, right? And after doing this for 7 days, or within 7 days, you will complete the festival. And after completing the festival, the team will reach out to you with your scores and leaderboards. Okay, and as you can see, if you have already joined the festival group, right, with the help of the form, and after you have joined the WhatsApp group, leaderboard updates or the score updates, will be there on the group daily, right? Kitne teachers ne kya kiya hai, nahi kiya hai, and what is your reward? Okay, so that is basically the Smart Teacher Festival. Okay, and that is basically all you have to do to participate in the festival for 7 days, and then you get your rewards and certificate from the team, right? It's a very easy, effective way to make learning fun and to make students, used to, newer technology, and yeah, making classes more interactive and effective and more personalized, right? And thank you so much. And the form will be open just till 8:15 p.m., right? So I request all of you to fill the form till 8:15 p.m., because after that the form will be closed and the team will not accept any more responses. All right, so here's the form link once again. I request all of you to fill the same till 8:15 p.m., because after that the form will close. Okay.